Hello, welcome to Pisshead Nerds. It seems that the subject of blackle.com has reared its head again. Basically, for those that don't know, blackle.com is a website that's been around, well, it's hosted by a actual company behind it called, I think it was searchincolor.com. Basically, what all they've done is they are using the back end of Google, but using their own servers to create the front end and changing it from being white background on black text to black background with white text, in the idea that black is less energy, consumes less energy when displaying it on a monitor. The only problem with this is that that's only really true with CRT monitors. LCD monitors, there's actually more evidence shown that because that the actual energy consumption would go up rather than down. Mainly this is due to the actual different ways in the technology that it works, and the fact that a lot of manufacturers are now actually pushing towards white to be more energy efficient, because they're dimming the actual backlights and things like that. They're being rather clever with it. Even with the actual the research that's gone into it, they've noticed that even within LCD monitors, there's a lot of variance as to whether or not a monitor will consume more energy displaying black, or will actually reduce its energy. The thing is, though, the actual difference between a normal running is negligible, to say the least. It's like 0.1 milliamps or milliwatts or something like that, compared to, you're talking like up to 7 or so with a CRT. Even then, that's nowhere near the amount that they're trying to proclaim it will have an effect of. And when you consider that CRTs, the amount of them out there is shrinking as well permanently, because the LCD is just kicking its ass. The interesting one that they came through with is that monitors of LCD screens of 22 inches, below 22 inches, actually show generally through the entire models an increase in energy consumption when you switch to using a black background. When it comes to 22 inches and above, the trend is for more is to actually have a reduction in the amount of energy consumed when displaying black compared to white. But there are some within that, it's getting nicher and nicher as to things, and basically there are still some even within that consume more energy. I guess it's all down to the panel, which one's used, various different technologies that they've got that they implement to at least energy save and try to get their energy start. The thing that you really need to look at if you want to save energy, and you're one of those. Probably, I think it's around about 70 odd to 80% of people now that have got an LCD instead of a CRT monitor, like that in the back, which always remains turned off and only gets used when I really need to for my servers. Basically, if you want to save yourself some energy, switching to a black background is not going to work. It's going to make zero impact. And even if you try to scale it out to millions of machines, it's going to have practically no impact. If you want to make real impact on energy saving, turn things off when you're finished with them. If you've got like wireless headphones, wireless mouse, don't just leave it in the cradle all the time. Use it until it needs to be recharged, then put it in for however long it takes to recharge it, then take it off. If you're going to be away from your computer for a week or so, switch everything that's got a little manual switch, switch it off. Do all your PCs need to have cool blue and green and red LEDs blaring out all the time? How many of them can you switch off manually? There's other things as well. Turn down, simply just turning down the contrast and the brightness on your monitor. That will generate real savings. USB devices, fucking good one, that one. Back in like 2000, 2001, every USB device that I bought, all the little cradles for syncing and things like that, I had plugged in. I even had, it's still here, I even had that permanently plugged in, a little Belkin USB hub. Over the years, as I've, calmed myself down and looked towards consolidating. Nowadays, instead of having all of, what is it called? Oh, marvellous, yeah. Ah, here it is. Instead of having all of my like digital cameras, the cradles and sinks, for anything that uses flash memory, I've just got that now. I don't even need to install the software anymore that controls them. I can just whip the card out, slot it in, plug that in, and just drag and drop. I don't need to fart around with their software. So stuff that you don't use that often, make sure it's just pulled out. Don't let it sit there and burn away with little status lights. Your numlock and caps lock. Those of you who do use caps lock, naughty. Shift key does everything you need. Hit the numlock key before you go to bed. Save that one little lamp from constantly burning for no reason. There are better ways to try to save energy than just changing the colour. I see it as kind of akin to spend 5 minutes a day with this little atomizer kind of abdominalizer or whatever they call them, little machines that use it 5 minutes a day and you'll have rippling abs and six-pack just like me. No, doesn't work. Quick fixes do not fix anything. Small things constantly tend to build up. The actual changing it is not going to do any good. Doing that. Look for devices you can unplug. Look for things you don't need to use all the time. Your webcam, do you need to have it plugged in all the time? Or if someone wants to talk to you, plumb it in, and away you go. It only takes a few seconds to actually detect and be usable by Windows or whatever operating system you happen to be using. Also try disabling certain things. Vista isn't the best thing because all the actual 3D rendering on the screen constantly chews up the power with your graphics card and your CPU. So that can actually increase the amount of energy you're using. So just try to think, not silly things like that, but just obvious things that don't need to be turned on. Unplug them. Switch off that power at the actual wall. Save yourself real savings. Anyway, if you guys have got any good tips for energy saving in your computer room, send them in. www.pissheadnerds.com. See you later. Bye.